حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فمن يضلل ومن يضلل له فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره الكافرون صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Verily and truly, sincerely, all praises are due to Allah. We praise Him, we glorify Him, we seek His aid and assistance from things we do consciously and unconsciously incorrect. He whom Allah, the glorious, the high guides, there's none who can mislead, and He who He leads astray, there is none who can guide. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship other than Allah, the glorious, the high. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah is His servant and His messenger, who He sent with the truth to establish this truth over all ways without any regard to the disbelievers. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon His Prophet, His family, His companions, and those that follow them with righteous intentions until the day of judgment. وقوله الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتون إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد, those who believe, fear Allah, be mindful of Allah, be conscious of Allah, and are not accept as being Muslim. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we speak to Him, we implore Him that at that moment in that time when we believe this existence, that we're in a state and in a condition of willingly submitting to Him. خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الحديث حديث محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. The best words is the book of Allah, and the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar. Wa lillahi alhamd. Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us on this blessed day of Yom Jummah, in this blessed month of Dhul Hijjah, the day after we have celebrated the Eid. We reflect upon the Hujjaj who are still in Mecca completing their rites, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept their efforts, to accept their sacrifices, to accept all of their works and deeds until they return to their homes. And for those who will not return to their homes, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts their Hajj as the greatest effort and act of them, and that they inshallah will receive the greatest and the highest Jannah to Firdaus, inshallah. In this blessed month, dear brothers and sisters, again we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us to have lived another year, to go through the first 10 days of this blessed month with so many opportunities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has afforded us to be able to receive so many barakas and so many blessings. And we reflect upon so many lessons that there are when we reflect upon the life of Ibrahim alayhi salam and Hajar and Ishmael, and the sacrifices that they consistently and that they constantly make for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so much to the degree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose their example as that for mankind to use when we go to the sacred house, to go through the steps in which they went through, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost. But we want to be able to, inshallah, take from this not just the remembrance of their faith, but we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to have a faith that is as strong and a trusting of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is as great as Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. For we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give us these examples of the different messengers and the prophets just for us to reflect upon, but for us to learn from and for us to, inshallah, incorporate into our lives. We cannot thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enough for letting us be here in North America, for letting us be not just in North America, but in the state of California, and not just in the state of California, but in the city of Lamina. In the city of Lamina, where many Muslim men and women and elders, and some who are here and some who passed away, came with a strong faith, came with a continued trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they wanted to work and to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And just as the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was built in Mecca, and thousands of years people go to the house of Allah to build and establish a house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right here in Southern California, this city, because of the sacrifices that are continually made by the men and the women who are acting upon their faith. Because to say that we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to say that we love Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is nice and is good, but to act upon that love and to act upon that faith by putting our finances and everything that we have towards this cause. We live in a time and in a day where Allah is affording us to continue to be a part of the history of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's mission. And we know that his mission began on a night up on a cave, when the first words to him were, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. And from the time that he received those first words, and his mission began, and the promise that until the end of time, the words that he received and the truth in this book, inshallah, will be passed on from generation to generation and from every hill and molehill in the world. And we have the opportunity in this moment in which we find ourselves here to bring the message, the clear message for all of us throughout Hajj and throughout all of the pillars of Islam is La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. And the human family needs to hear that. And there needs to be an institution where that is nurtured. And so that our youth and our babies can be able to be nurtured with this faith, with the love for this faith, so that they can take this mantle and continue this history. For sometimes when we're in history, we don't reflect. But we're in history and living history, leaving a mark. That inshallah, 500 years from now, this masjid that's being built here, this center for the youth that's being built here, will be a contribution. The generations beginning more than 35 years ago had the impudence, had the dream, had the vision to fulfill. And we, inshallah, thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the challenges that we as Muslims in 2015 that we face. We don't run from them, we don't duck from them, we don't ask Allah to replace them, we accept them just as Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam accepted whatever challenges befronted him once he began to receive this message. And he stayed true to this message and using him as a guide and as a model. Again, going back to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wa salam, constantly and consistently, no matter the challenges, no matter the objection, he consistently and he constantly stayed true to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed in him. And we too want to stay true to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places in us, to establish this thing. And to do it in a way that is so beautiful, a way that is so inclusive. For we know, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ya ayyuhan nasu, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha, وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعرفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. O mankind, we created you from a single pair of male and female, and made you into nations and tribes that you may know each other, not that you may despise each other. Verily, the most honor of you in the sight of Allah is He who is the most righteous of you, and Allah has full knowledge and is well acquainted with all things. This is very significant because we know that in the farewell pilgrimage of the Prophet ﷺ and his farewell sermon, and I just want to do a portion of that to reflect upon his words that tie into these verses from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because it's very significant and very meaningful and very relevant. Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would not have said anything that does not have a relevancy that goes from age to age and generation to generation. And we want to remember the words of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thanking him, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in English translation, asking for the mercy of Allah be upon him, said, "O people, lend me an attentive ear. But I know not whether after this year I shall ever be amongst you again. Therefore listen to what I am saying to you very carefully and take these words to those who could not be present here today." And I want to go to where the Prophet ﷺ says, "O people, listen to me in earnest. Worship Allah, perform your salah, fast during the month of Ramadan, and offer zakat. Perform the Hajj if you have the means. All mankind is from Adam and Eve. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor does a non-Arab have any superiority over an Arab. A white has no superiority over a black, nor does a black have any superiority over a white. None has superiority over another, except by piety and good action. Learn that every Muslim is a brother to every Muslim. That the Muslims constitute one brotherhood. Nothing shall be legitimate to a Muslim which belongs to a fellow Muslim unless it was given freely and willingly. Do not therefore do injustice to yourselves. Remember, one day you will appear before Allah and answer for your deeds. So beware, do not stray from the path of righteousness after I am gone. O people, no prophet or apostle will come after me, and no new faith will be born. Reason well, therefore, O people, and understand words which I convey to you. I leave behind me two things, the Quran and my example, the Sunnah, and if you follow these, you will never go astray. All those who listen to me shall pass on my words to others, and those to others again. And it may be that the last ones understand my words better than those who listen to me directly. Be my witness, O Allah, that I have conveyed your message to your people." Thus, the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam completed his final sermon, and upon it near the summit of Arafat, the revelation came down. And again, just in the English translation, where it says, "This day have I perfected your religion for you, completed my grace upon you, and have chosen Islam for your way." أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله وأتوب إليه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Brothers and sisters, it is so significant that our blessed Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would remind us that there is no superiority because of one's language. And we must embrace this, and we must act upon this, and this is why it is very significant and very important that we sometimes remember these words, because we live in a world where oftentimes men are divided because of things like language or things because of complexion and race and nationality. But we as Muslims have been called to one ummah. And that's what was so beautiful yesterday at the end of prayer when the leadership of this community spoke out and asked for the assistance of all Muslims in helping to build this mosque, to help to build this center that's going to be for all Muslims. Because unless we act upon this faith in an inclusive way, then we will fall to the shaitanic whispers and fall into the pitfalls of the secular society. We know that we live in a reality here in North America, here in California, and throughout this country. My people in particular, my community in particular, is consistently and constantly talking about Black Lives Matter. Why do they have to say Black Lives Matter? Because racism is real, and it impacts people's lives. And we as Muslims, inshallah, must be above racism. We must be above sexism. We must be above nationalism. We are called upon, inshallah, to be the exemplars of the best community. There's a need for the human family to see the best community acting as the best, serving and providing doing what Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to do. He came to establish mercy. And we must be the face of mercy. We must be the face of compassion. Our hearts go out to the migrants around the world that are falling into the ocean and the seas, running away from different lands because of circumstances and situations. Our hearts bleed when we see our brothers and sisters in Syria and in Iraq and in Somalia and in Chad and in Kashmir and in Bangladesh and in Palestine and in all of the different other places that we know about and don't know about, that they're suffering and what they're going through. But we collectively as a Muslim body want to be there for them. If we can't be there in a material way and in a physical way, that we're there with our two eyes, sincerely, knowing that this truth shall establish, this truth shall be real. And when we think about our brothers and sisters in different lands and in different places, we don't want to forget about 56,000 people on the streets of Los Angeles, California. And among them, many are Muslims. And we too need to have a presence working with the people down in that circumstance and situation, galvanizing our youth to be actively participatory in their faith, for them to be creative and mindful. If you don't find an organization doing what it is you think you can do, alhamdulillah, establish it. This is what we're about. That's what's so beautiful about Hajj. And these days to come, you know, when you first go to land in Jeddah, you get aboard the bus and you're on your way to Mecca, and you're saying the Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, Labbaik la sharika laka Labbaik, and you're making the initial tawaf, and you're making the umrah, and you there and in the early stages of the pilgrimage, and everybody has on ihram, and you don't really see the difference. But on the day when they're leaving Mecca, it's one of the most beautiful sights for anyone that's ever made Hajj. You see all the people in their different national garb and the colors and the established ways of themselves, and it's a beautiful sight to see this collective, beautiful, unified family. But when you leave there, there's this feeling that it doesn't end with this. I'm motivated now. I'm invigorated. Let's go get busy. And that's how we want to be. After these celebratory days, we want to get busy, making a difference with our faith, living our faith, finding out what can I do in the community, inshallah. How can I volunteer? Point me in a direction to one of the entities, one of the organizations that needs the service of young people or seniors, so that all can play a participatory role in this effort, in this opportunity. But this is just an opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has afforded us, brothers and sisters, in this moment. And as we saw yesterday, how quick lives can just be gone. That can happen to us. We live in an area where an earthquake can happen at any moment, at any time. We can all be swallowed up. We don't have time to waste. We don't have time to put on. We can't say, I'll do it in 10 years, I'll do it in 5 years. Let's do it today. Find a way. What can I do? Since Allah has afforded me the chance to be in a land that didn't know about Islam. You know, they talk about some of the Islamic phobia. They talk about it. Less than 25% of the people in America know a Muslim. Has a friend that's a Muslim, or a co-worker that's a Muslim, or associate that's a Muslim. So we know that we got to do more, so they can see how blessed they are to have Muslims in their community. When this center is established, it's not going to be just for me and you. This whole community is going to blossom and shine because of this. The youth being produced in this community are the leaders tomorrow. Not only the leaders of Islam, but the leaders of this country, the leaders of this society, the leaders of the schools. This is what we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for, is the opportunity. And we know, we rest assured that if we don't do this, if we don't love doing this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can remove us and replace us with those who will love Him. And they will love His messenger to the degree that they will establish what Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to establish. In righteousness and in goodness, in kindness and in fairness. This is who we are. This is what we speak of. And this is why there are thousands of men and women in jails and prisons coming into Islam. Men and women who made all kinds of mistakes and were absolutely, totally lost. But they're finding hope, and they're finding direction, and they're finding guidance when they heard about a man, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And they heard about the mission that he was on. And when they discover the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it changes lives today. It's not from the motivation of what they hear on the radio or what they see on television. It is the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what they learn about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And so, brothers and sisters, again, I want to leave with a verse from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَتَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى خَيْرٍ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And that there may arise from your community who invite to goodness and enjoin right conduct and forbid indecency. Such are they who are successful. So, my brothers and sisters, we're being called upon, inshallah, to establish this kind of community, the kind of young people whose foundation is righteousness and goodness, whose foundation is understanding that it is important not to counter evil with evil, but to use goodness, to use that which Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave us, patience. And we only can get goodness and we only can get patience when we fall in love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we can't fall in love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unless we fall in love with His book. And so when our young people can be able to learn the Quran at their earlier stages so that their foundational core being is established with this faith, then alhamdulillah, inshallah, we're on sound footing. For those of us who are getting gray and moving on, it is a wonderful sight to see and a wonderful thing to be a part of when our youth are being prioritized and being given the opportunity that inshallah and nurtured so they can lead. For again, we go back to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and we know that the youth were around Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ali ibn Abi Talib was a youth, Abdullah ibn Umar, Anas ibn Malik, were youngsters in the company of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and much have we learned because of their closeness to the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So we learned that he nurtured them, he allowed them to be within his close proximity so they could pick up his character. So those who have grandsons and great-grandsons and granddaughters, allow them to be in your midst. Allow them to learn from your actions and your moves and your ways so that inshallah they'll have that reflection that soon becomes their good old days. As we all know, time is fleeting, moves by rapidly, waits for no one. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. Our youth are not guaranteed they will live to be adults. So this is why we want them to be mindful and conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their early stages and phases. All of us won't live to be 90 years old or live to be 70 years old. So in this moment that Allah has given us, let us seek out and find ways that we not just celebrate Eid al-Adha, but we not just celebrate when our brothers and sisters come home from the Hajj and our associates and community members, but that we really try to, inshallah, grasp from the spirit that you will find within them as they talk about, as they speak about their journey, as they speak about what they saw and how they were motivated, that we use that, inshallah, as energy to charge us, so that we, inshallah, won't rest until we're rested back into the ground. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين يا أرحم الراحمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. ان الله يامر بالعدل والاحسان وايتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. قامت الصلاه.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا اعتدلوا تراصوا يرحمكم الله إن تسوية الصفوف من تمام الصلاة. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء نحوا سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Abdul Hafiz, we are thankful to you, mashallah, for over 30 years, almost 35 years or so. Brother Hafiz has been doing a lot of good work, a lot of service. His specialty is, which many of us, for some reason or other, do not do. Mashallah, he goes almost for 40 years, he goes to different jail systems and he spreads the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to all those people who are so thirsty about Islam. So we are thankful to him for coming here today. Next week, Khatib will be Anis Rahman. A tragedy in Mecca that we heard. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them place in Jannah, inshallah, and bring the rest of the people safely back home, inshallah. Eid was an excellent event for us yesterday. MashaAllah, is full to the capacity. Alhamdulillah. There's a carnival today at your masjid right here on the grounds for the whole family. Saturday, that's tomorrow. Yes. MashaAllah. So I said today because we need help to do the setup. So my head is already into the carnival. So please come and help us set it up. Tomorrow, Saturday, 10:30 to 6 o'clock will be the carnival. We need the volunteers, as I said. There will be a lot of food and the rides and so forth. Fundraising event is happening in Norris Pavilion and Palace Parties Sunday, the 4th of October from 12:30 to 4 o'clock. Sheikh Suhaib Webb and Sheikh Manzar Talib and Baba Ali will be there. All of us will be there. So inshallah, come and join us to help build the new building, inshallah. The same day, there is also a class from 7 to 10 o'clock, inshallah, on Sunday by Sheikh Suhaib Webb, right here in your masjid in the evening. The subject will be condition of heart, and the tickets are available, and the dinner will be also served. Quran class, Qari Anas Daghameen, mashallah, he has over 80 students now, so please come and join him and bring your children also. Weekend Islamic School is happening, mashallah, over 100 students are there in Weekend Islamic School. Go to our website, masjidalnoor.org. It gives you complete thorough information, minute by minute, about all the programs day by day. Our webcam streams and broadcasts all our lectures and khutbas, so people at your home can monitor. Donate generously for the general funds of the masjid, for the new building, and also donate any used cars that you have. There are some needy people in our community, they can benefit from it. There is a live chicken being cooked outside, so enjoy Pakistani biryani and the roasted chicken and the samosas and so forth. I'll ask the Sheikh to say the dua for sick, especially Brother Inayat Hussain, he's not feeling well, and for the disease.
اللهم اشف مرضانا، اللهم اشف مرضانا، اللهم اشف مرضى المسلمين يا ارحم الراحمين، اللهم ارحم موتانا وارحم موتى المسلمين، اللهم ارزقهم جنة الفردوس يا ارحم الراحمين، اللهم ارحم المسلمين والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الاحياء منهم والاموات، سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.